Good day, guys. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are great. And on this video, I have Volatility 25s. So this video is more of like an updated, or if you want to say part 2, but not exactly that, because I do analyze this current structure here. But first, I just want to clarify this other previous structure, and I want you guys to understand. So make sure that you watch the previous video on Volatility 25s, which is going to be on the description below, like the link, or it's going to be at the end of this video on the screen. So the one that I want to point out actually is right here. I remember correctly that this lower high, because we had a bearish market structure here from this point to this point down here, we had a bearish market structure, and this was a lower high that was not supposed to be broken, right? And the logic behind this was that if we break this lower high above here, we will have to see the market changing the structure and the market buying, right? That was the goal. So I remember this market was like somewhere here. This was a bullish pullback, but then once you break above here, it's going to be a different story. It means that the structure would have changed. But I want you to understand this. Reason why I'm explaining this is because, yes, I can see that the market managed to pull back in here. It tried to break, but it failed to break, went back inside, then here eventually managed to break, and the buys continued, right? But then now you can see, now focusing on the current price as to like what's happening right now, you can see that the market went back inside, or it went back below this level here, right? You understand? So what does this mean? So it means, like, on the bigger time frames, like the daily, the weekly, right, of which you can go and check this out, right? Go open up your daily or your weekly chart. It's where it's going to be visible nicely that here we have a fake breakout. You understand? Because if you look at the days here and going up until here, it kind of do make sense. So this here on the bigger time frame, you're gonna see this as a fake breakout, right? So that's another thing. But as I always say, make sure that you focus on the current price, right? You're gonna see how we're gonna adapt to that. You understand? So on a 1 hour here, we can see that the price or the market structure now is currently bullish. That's what we see. But I want you to stay tuned and watch how I'm gonna break down this and analyze this. And let's get straight into that. So as always, you want to make sure that you remove everything, restart your chart, okay, and then zoom out at least 4 times. And of course, make sure that you're on the 1 hour. So this is zoomed out 4 times. From what I'm seeing right here is that I have a bullish market structure, right? But then I have to analyze, I have to actually put together what I'm seeing, right? So the first thing that I'm gonna do is identify this market structure using my technicals. My technicals are gonna be trend lines. Okay, so there we go. Then add another one here. So make sure you have a first touch here, then a second touch, then you extend, first touch, second touch, then you extend. So here, reason why I'm not like crossing this over like this, which is, yes, right, you can do it like this, but I'm not yet crossing it out like that because I want to understand like why this is happening the way that is happening. So if I can just come here and explain this part, right? Let me just see if I can like circle here. Okay, so This is me trying to explain that although I've talked about this on the other videos, on the third touch, right, I always make sure that I leave the trend line like this. I don't just extend it. Why? Because I know that on the third touch, two things are bound to happen. One of the two things, which the price can either get to that point, buy, or it could sell. You understand? So the understanding or the logic behind that is that you understand that at every touch of a trend line, right, there's an area of support and resistance. Okay, so meaning here there was an area of support and resistance here. So you're gonna see that as we continue to analyze this. So for now, let's just remove that because we wanna get down to understanding as to why this is happening the way it's happening, and we could potentially adapt and trade. So right, now that we have this main structure here, we can see what's happening. You can see that this is a bullish market structure. I have my higher highs and higher lows. So the next step for me to do here would be to actually trace this market to confirm what my eyes are seeing, right? So there I go. There I go. So this is like what I'm doing. I'm connecting the most obvious highs and lows, right? So here, this is the obvious low, the obvious high, the obvious low, the obvious high. Okay, I hope that is clear. And between this one and this one, you can use this one here, right about here. Still the same thing, right? So as long as you identify which one is the lowest, which I think is this one, but it is all the same thing if you put here or here, just as long as you understand that the main source is this one rather than this one. Okay, so anyway, right after here, I want to focus on the inside structure, which would be coming to my 2 points, and then depending on the type of structure, right? So here we have a bullish market structure. We're gonna use the logic, all the terms higher high and higher low. So in a bullish market structure, the most important swing points are the higher lows, right? Which means that these ones below here. So these ones here, they must not be broken, okay? So if they're broken, then the structure will be considered changed. Okay, so my next step right now would be to try and highlight this inside structure here, although it's already clear, which is here and here. And just for me to make it a slightly different color. So you see, this is a bullish one. You understand? So that's what you have. Now, the next step here would be for us to highlight this market structure. Okay, so first I'm going to highlight the bigger structure. Okay, so because here the current price is closer to this higher low, right? I'm going to highlight this using the zones. I'm not going to use the line, right? If I was going to use the line, it's going to be something like this. That's going to help me to be aware that as long as the market does not break below this line, right, this horizontal line, the trend is not going to change. If you have a break below this horizontal line, it means I want to look for sells. Okay, so if anything is above here, the best thing you could do is look for buys. Okay, so that is that. But here, hear me, because the current price is closer here, I'm going to use the zones instead, which means I'm going to put my areas of support and resistance. Okay, so I'm going to draw them. All right, and this one, for me personally, this is the color that I prefer. For you, you can use any color that you want to do. So here, just from, okay, now let me just remove this. Okay, let me remove that. We can use this small structure here. So now, right, So make sure that we get the clear picture. So now that this is what we have, right, I can go ahead and add one more step here, because you can see that the price is here, right? And obviously here there's like an area of support and resistance, okay? So you can go ahead and also highlight that. So from here, although here this is enough for me, right? This is enough for me because I know that, okay, above here I must look for buys, below here I must look for sells. But because you want to make sure you adapt, right, you can highlight this. Yeah, you can use this structure here, right? You can use this structure here, which is this one. So here, this is the one that I'm gonna be going with, and they're gonna help me to understand like what is happening, right? Make sure you put them nicely. Put it nicely, just nice. Nice and yeah, like that. Okay, now let's come here. Yeah, okay, let's use this one. All in all, it's still the same. So this one, the gray one here, just represents like an area of support and resistance, which is what I was talking about with the trend line stuff, right? So from here, the logic here is very easy. You can apply this here below here. This is the best way you can look for sells, and then of course above here you can look for buys, or I mean inside here, and also like above here you can look for buys, right? So right now, right, the structure is still very much bullish because we are still having broken below this blue zone here, okay, which kind of goes back to the way I explained in the beginning of the video, right? Remember where this had this right here. This is what we had, okay? So it means like on the bigger time frames, the structure is still very much bearish, but here on the smaller time frames, the structure is currently like in a pullback manner. All right, but because I don't want to confuse anybody, just call this what it is. The structure right now is bullish. Okay, just follow what the 1 hour time frame is telling you. If you want to take sales, the best thing you can do is wait for the market to break below here. You have to trade what you see, not what you think. And this is it from me, guys. I hope that you learned something here. Hope the video was not confusing in any way. Make sure you rewatch it, take your time and understand. Make sure that you comment, guys, like, do all those things. And I'll see you on another video.